Well, hello again, everybody. Welcome to another Yukon Bob video. Little overcast today and not going to be the warmest of days, but I do want to get out on the Sea-Doo today for a ride. The winds are supposed to be fairly light where I'm going, 15, 17K. Got the Sea-Doo hooked up from the garage behind the truck. Got everything loaded up, and I think we're going to head out for 4 or 5 hours, something like that today. The destination today is a lake that's not too far away from me. It's called Lake Scugog. There's a place I know in Lake Scugog where I can kind of launch there, and it's not right in the town, but just a little ways out of the town on Lake Scugog, and then Lake Scugog turns into a river, which takes you to the town of Lindsay. It's just kind of a nice ride down this river, right through the town of Lindsay. There's a lock there, and then you head on past that lock and you're into Sturgeon Lake on the other side. That's sort of the plan for today, is to head out there, put in the water, probably spend 4 or 5 hours on the water, something like that, and then make our way back. So come along with us. We're going to head out. Got everything hooked up here, and we are ready to hit the road. It's just a little over an hour from my place to get up to Lake Scugog, to where I'm going to launch from. There is a city launch, as I said earlier, right in the town of Port Perry, but that's a paid launch, and it also means I have to cross a lot more open water. So there's another place I'm going to go to. It's up past a casino there in the Port Perry area, and it's kind of like a peninsula that goes out onto the lake, into the middle of the lake, and it cuts off a fair amount of time. Just in case it is rough out there, there is winds supposed to be 17, 18K, something like that. So it shouldn't be too bad, but it does cut a lot of the lake off for me launching where I am, but it's not the best launch. It's kind of a dirt road and a bit of a gravel kind of half concrete pad. I'll show you when I get up there, but not the best launch, but it is a free launch and it cuts a fair amount of time off the big open lake. So we'll show you that when we get there. Yeah, it's just this last little bit of road to get into the boat launch. It's not a paved area to get in here on this part of the road, and lots of potholes and stuff like that. Just have to take it really kind of slow coming in here, but completely doable. The Sea-Doo's bouncing around a little bit back there, but there's not a really long stretch of this to get into where the boat launch is. It's just the last little bit. There's been a lot of rain over the last couple of days, and the road in here is actually quite muddy. It's the muddiest I've ever seen it coming in here. It's just pure muck in here. This is going to be a little bit of a mess getting into the water here. I came in really slow, just kind of easing my way through all the potholes, but and it's no problem coming in, but just look at all the mud here. Good thing this is a fairly shallow ramp in order to get into the water, because I wouldn't want to spin out here with the tires on the truck. I think we'll be okay. Look, I've got mud all over the back of the Sea-Doo there from the trip in. That'll wash off, I guess, once we get into the water. Okay, I think what we'll do is we'll get the straps off the back of the Sea-Doo, and then look at how thick this mud is. And then just pull right in here. It's a cracked up, broken ramp. It actually looks like it's better over on this side than over here. It is not a good ramp, but I think for the Sea-Doo and a small boat, I should be okay getting into the water here. This is the muddiest I've ever seen it in here. I think I've only been here about 2 or 3 times. But look, mud, mud, mud. We're gonna need a real wash down when we get back. Made it. Make sure it starts. Get out just a little bit. That is a pretty crappy launch, I gotta say. It is completely doable with a Sea-Doo. It's just not the best launch, but when the weather warms up a little more and that road dries out, because it's full of water and potholes right now, so it's kind of a rough, muddy ride in here. It's probably the worst I've ever seen it. But that will dry out after a few sunny, warm days, and the road will just be kind of bumpy coming in. Right now it's kind of muddy getting in here, but it'll get better. Like all the bulrushes right along here along the shoreline, that's kind of nice. So this is Lake Scugog right here, and we are going to go down that way on Lake Scugog. Once we get down there a ways, we'll run into a river at the very end of Lake Scugog, which will take us right up through the town of Lindsay, which will be kind of nice. So that's the plan. Let me get a few things set up here. All right, I've got a jacket on already because it is not the warmest out here. It's supposed to hit about 20 degrees, I think, later on this afternoon in an hour or so. But on the water, of course, it won't be 20. It's going to be a little colder than that. And this jacket is something that I bought at the Toronto Boat Show this year. It's a Helly Hansen kind of a boating jacket. It's kind of windproof. Got a bit of a hood on it if I needed it for rain, that kind of thing. But it should keep me fairly warm. I even brought my socks along with me just in case my toes get cold, because I'm just wearing sandals and bare toes. And if I remember right, a couple of years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, I was on this lake last. It was cold out here. I needed socks on that trip too. I'll probably put some gloves on as well, the fingerless gloves, so I can still operate the cameras. But, you know, it's not going to be excessively cold, I don't think, but it's not going to also be one of those warm, hot days. All right, I think we've got everything pretty much secure here. Got my hat with me. Everything is secure on the back. There's nothing loose. That's the boat launch right there. I've got the Garmin fired up so I can find my way back here. Tighten that up a little bit, make sure that's on good. That's the 360 camera up there on the top of the windshield. This is going to be one of those days, I think, where the windshield is going to be kind of nice to have it on board. So I think the early part of the season, the latter part of the season, the windshield will be quite a nice thing to have. And today is going to be one of those days where I think I'll be glad that I've got the windshield on here. I think we are ready to go. Let's head out of here. This is a pretty shallow lake. Now, water levels are high this year, which is a good thing for this lake, because traditionally this is just generally a shallow lake. Water is not really clean in Lake Scugog. It's this brownish kind of color. No clear water kind of anywhere in the lake. I think it's got a very muddy bottom. So it's not a real clear, clean lake. Lots of cottages all the way around it though. One thing I've noticed with the windshield is you tend to be driving faster than you normally would, just because it doesn't feel like you're going as fast with the windshield. I guess it's just the wind pressure, that sort of thing, that is lessened with the windshield, and it doesn't feel like you're going quite as fast. Often I've looked down, I'm doing 50, 60 kilometers an hour, when normally I run, you know, a little bit less than that, 50, 55, but it sneaks up on you with the windshield. So things start to narrow right up here. Lake Scugog starts to get ready to turn into the river that runs all the way through the town of Lindsay and then comes out into Lake Sturgeon on the other side, which is all part of the Trent-Severn waterway system. So it's just starting to narrow right up here. It doesn't take long to get down here, maybe 15 minutes, something like that, and you're down at the end of the lake. They don't like me right here. Okay, we'll leave them alone. Just wanted to get a couple of shots of them flying in front of us. They can fly pretty fast. That's almost 50 kilometers an hour those birds are flying. That's fast. Okay, I've just found another boat launch here on Lake Scugog. This is just where Lake Scugog begins to enter the river. But this looks like a much better launch than where I launched from. Yeah, it doesn't have a concrete pad, it's just gravel, but this is a better launch. It's smoother. Look how dry it is in here compared to the mud that I had. Yeah, this is better. It's got a washroom thing up there, lots of parking. I'll have to look on a map, see if I can find this particular location and check it out. This could be a good spot to launch from, but it'd be a further drive. You'd have to go up the lake a little bit further to get here. Pretty though. Playground right here. I'll look on Google Maps, I'll see if I can find it. It is starting to warm up a little bit. They said it was going to get sunnier as the day went on, and that's exactly what's happening. It is nicer out now. Temperatures have warmed up a little bit. Not warm enough to take this jacket off yet though, but it is warmer than it was when I started 45 minutes or an hour ago. So that's where we're heading. Things are going to narrow. We're going to get into the river. I don't know if there's a name for that river or not. I can't recall, but it takes you from Lake Scugog to Sturgeon Lake. There's markers in the channel here, and I think I'm going to kind of stick to those markers because there are some shallow spots through here, if I remember right from the last time I was here. It's a nice little ride. It's nothing too exciting or exotic or anything like that, but it's through this river system and then off the lake a little bit. It's just a nice, short, easy little ride. And it's a quick one for me to do from my place. Yeah, so here the markers are really close to the shoreline. You think sometimes going down the middle of the lake is the place to go, but not always the case. Here the markers are way over on the shoreline. I was starting to see little bits of weeds, the tops of weeds just underneath the surface of the water. So then I saw the markers, thought, oh, I'm in the middle of the lake. I got to be over towards the side of the lake over here. So this is the place to be. Yeah, it's really going to start narrowing once we get up here a little bit. Weeds are all kind of attached to the bottom, and you shouldn't suck them up that easily. It's the loose stuff that's kind of on the surface that has the chance of getting sucked up into the impeller and jamming it. Now we do have the reverse system on this Sea-Doo, so you could always try that if you got weeds in the impeller. Reverse the prop, put it into neutral, then go into reverse and push the weeds back out. I've tried that once and it worked. Can you hear the birds? I think that is the sound of swans. I bet you if around that corner up there, there's some swans. It's hard to tell because the water's so dirty, murky. It's hard to tell the depth here. I'm gonna get out a little bit. I can hear those swans. They're up there somewhere. No, that's as close as we're going to get. They've had enough of me. They've got lots of terrain out here to head to. They don't need to be around a motor. Now in a kayak or a canoe, you could probably get pretty close to them. There's some Canada geese up on the shore there with the young that have been born already this year. There's a whole brood of the young ones there. Coming a little bit closer here. Yeah, look at them all in there. Whole bunch of young ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's got to be 25 or 30 young. Yeah, this dock needs a little bit of work. Now that is the closest I've been able to get today. I'm using a different camera this time for my vlogging camera. I'm using the DJI Action 4 and this little microphone right here that's attached to it by Bluetooth. The only problem seems to be with this system is that you turn the camera on to record, the camera starts recording, but it takes sometimes 4 or 5 seconds for the Bluetooth to connect to the camera to have audio. So every time you start recording, you've got to wait about 5 seconds before you can start talking, or else you'll have no audio. And sometimes it's a little longer than that, so you almost have to look to see if you've got audio first before you start talking to see if you're recording. Don't like that system. The Rode system I've been using, which is a different Bluetooth wireless microphone system that I've been using with the GoPro Hero 13, seems to connect much faster. So I don't know, I'm trying this out because the Action 4 camera, the DJI, has got pretty good color. It's a nice looking little camera. So I'm trying that one out today, and the GoPro Hero 13, which I normally use for vlogging, is the one that's sitting down there. Okay, let's keep making our way down. We'll stay on the markers because it is shallow through here. Can only imagine what it was like on a low water year. Hate to run aground at this speed. That wouldn't be fun. If we stay on the markers, we should be okay. Seem to go back and forth on this little river from one side to the other with the markers, just depending where the channel is. I think that all the locks this summer on the Trent Severn waterway system are free again. It's part of that supporting Canada thing, Canada supporting its people. Free locks again this summer to encourage people to stay home, use the waterways in their home province, stay in the province and spend your money here kind of thing. They did it last year, they're going to do it again this year. So all the locks on the Trent Severn waterway system, and I think also on the Rideau system, are all going to be free this summer, which is kind of nice. You don't have to buy a pass, and you can just pull up and use the locks. So we'll find out more about that as the summer goes on. There is one lock up here that I may or may not go through today. It's right in the middle of the town of Lindsay. Not technically part of the Trent Severn waterway system. It's not listed as a numbered lock on that system, but it is a lock just like many of the other locks on the Trent Severn. It's just that it's not right on the straight path, if you want to call it that, of the Trent Severn system. It's a bit off in a different direction. Yeah, it's a cemetery in here. Just a beautiful little cemetery for the town of Lindsay. Looks like it's a fairly old cemetery. Some of those tombstones in there look pretty old. Okay, now you think you might go down that way, but you don't. You go down that way. So we'll make the turn here. Up by these bulrushes. All the greenery is not quite out yet. It's still popping out. Another couple of weeks. By these bulrushes. Well, I just pulled into this little spot right here with all these beautiful Adirondack, Algonquin, whatever you want to call them, chairs right along the shoreline here. I thought I might fly the drone here and just kind of go down the river, fly it around, fly it from shore. But it's a restricted area in here because of the town of Lindsay. And there could be a municipal airport really close around here, something like that. So the drone won't start. It's in a restricted zone and I can't fly it here, which is too bad because I could just fly it from the shore, fly it down along the river a little bit. It would have been quite nice. Maybe I can try to do that a little bit further back down the other way, but I think the town of Lindsay is not far from here. So we will move up a little bit further and go around the corner or two and see if we see where that lock is, which is, then we'll have to make a decision whether we're going through the lock or not going through the lock, but I think it's not too far ahead. All right, let's pull back out of here. That was a non-success. Yeah, it sort of makes sense. I didn't realize how close I was to the town of Lindsay, because I think it's just around a couple of corners, but no zone restriction in place for the drone. Looks like a brand new dock. Starting to get a little bit hungry. I didn't have breakfast this morning, maybe a half a piece of toast and a coffee. I made a sandwich. I brought a sandwich along with me. And I think, wow, there's a good spot to tie up right there and have lunch. And let's just tie up right here. Put that around there and around one hand once more. Good, this is perfect. I think this is a perfect spot to have lunch. The only problem with this spot is it looks like there's a lumber yard right across the road there with a forklift running back and forth. Ah, it'll do. There it is. And I think I had a bottle of water. Well, I think this is about perfect. I can't think of a better spot. The only thing that they could have done here for me was have a chair. But I can sit like this. My legs hanging over the dock makes it a little bit more comfortable. And I've made myself a turkey sandwich with some cheese and cucumber. I think I needed that. So this wrist has been giving me some trouble lately. I think I've got a bit of carpal tunnel in that right hand, and it's been getting worse over the last little while. I've got an appointment coming up with a specialist in, I think it's July, for an appointment to see somebody who deals with that kind of stuff. I went 10 years ago for this because it was bothering me back then, and it's bothered me on and off, but it's been getting worse over the last little while. And it's a little bit debilitating because on the Sea-Doo, it's not bad when I'm riding by myself because I can always just sort of stop and put my hand in the water, take a break. But when I'm riding with a group of people like the Sea-Doo Tours riding group, where you're going and going and going for long stretches at a time, sometimes this hand becomes so numb that I can't feel the fingers. It's just absolutely numb. I can't feel anything. Putting the thumb on the throttle, it's a weird sensation. It's just completely numb. And I have to sometimes reach over with the other hand over onto the throttle and try to drive it like that for a little bit, which is really awkward. The motorcycle, when I'm driving the bike, it has cruise control. So yeah, I do get the numbness in my hand still there sometimes, but then I put it on cruise control, my hand can get a break on the motorcycle. On the Sea-Doo, it's not like that. You've got to have your hand on the throttle all the time when you're going, which makes sense. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. It's sometimes particularly bad at night, sleeping overnight. It's actually woken me up sometimes at night where it's been painful. And I think it's because it doesn't move at all at night. During the day when I'm kind of moving around and you've got your hand moving a bit, it doesn't seem to be quite as bad. But when it sits stationary for any length of time, it tends to seize up a little bit. So I don't know. I did talk to a specialist 10 years ago, and the risk of an operation is that things can go badly as well in that type of operation, and you can be worse off than you were before. So it wasn't that bad back then, but it has been getting a little bit worse lately. So I don't know what I'm going to do about it. I'm going to go see this guy and we'll go from there. But it's a little awkward sometimes on the Sea-Doo and on the motorcycle with that numbness in my right hand. Little push off. Well, that hit the spot, just a bit of a sandwich. And I think Lindsay is not too far up around the corner. So we'll go up there to that lock and we'll decide what we're going to do then, whether we're going to go through or not. At the time of this recording, the early lock restrictions are in place. They go till sometime in early June, where the locks shut down at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, meaning you've got to be back and through the lock at 3 o'clock or a little bit before that, or you're not going to get through. So because of that restriction, I'm not sure I'm going to go through the lock today because it's already 1:30 or so. There's not far, I can't go that far even if I go through the lock. Now those hours are going to get longer into June, and this recording is in May. So in June, the hours will be longer at the locks. I think they'll be open till 5 or 6. Don't quote me on that, I'd have to look it up. But right now, the restricted hours, so going through doesn't give me a lot of time to turn around and get back. This is kind of nice, just like this though today. It has actually turned out to be a much nicer day than I had anticipated. Didn't think it would be this warm. Got to be hitting that 20-degree mark about now. A little bit cooler here right on the water, but just a super pleasant afternoon. The wind is, you know, maybe 12, 14 K, something like that. So it's fairly light. And lots of sunshine. The sun has popped out a lot more than it was earlier this morning. So it's turned out to be a pretty darn good day out here on the river system off of Lake Scugog. But like I say, we've got a bit of a rock wall right along here, and then we've got the town of Lindsay coming up, and we'll get to that lock and see what we're going to do. The lock master right up in there. So you just pull right up in here. They open this. I think yeah, you see those two yellow things there? They walk around that thing, and it's a hand crank system here. It cranks the lock open, and then you can kind of go into the lock and drop down into the other side. But not going to bother doing that today, because as I say, there's just really not enough time. But this is a beautiful little spot here. I think there's a restaurant up top over there where you can get something to eat if you wanted to. You could tie up here and walk up there. Water levels seem pretty high up in here. Danger dam ahead. Yeah, it's flowing right over the edge. And then it just drops straight down below. So right after the making of this trip and this video, tomorrow I'm heading out on a motorcycle trip with my son. We're going for 2 days. We're going to leave from the house, and we're going to go up to Tobermory, take some nice scenic roads to get up to Tobermory, and then we're going to take the ferry, the Chichimon ferry, across to Manitoulin Island. And from Manitoulin Island, we're going to tour around there, have a good look at it. I've never really toured around Manitoulin Island. I've just been to places where you can launch a Sea-Doo from, and then that was it. But this time we're going to look around Manitoulin Island a little bit, and then we're going to head over to Sudbury, spend a night in Sudbury probably, a night in Tobermory, a night in Sudbury, and then back home. So a 2-day trip on the motorcycles should be kind of nice. The weather's supposed to be a little bit better, and we'll be making a video on that trip and turning that around and releasing that on the Yukon Bob Sea-Doo / motorcycle channel, not too far down the road. Pretty colorful. Won't miss him on the water. Orange shirt, lime green kayak. Wow, is it ever marshy back in here? Just all beautiful bird sanctuary. Just fantastic. It's not been used in a while, I don't think. Well, guys, I think that's going to do it for this Yukon Bob video. A beautiful day, as it turns out, on Lake Scugog, and then onto the river that leads out of Lake Scugog and up to the lock at Lindsay. That was the ride for today. Probably out on the water for about 4 hours today, something like that. Not a super long ride. Shortly, we'll be doing some longer rides. The Sea-Doo Tours riding group likes to kick into action fairly soon. And I'll probably be out for a ride with some of those guys, and maybe Lake Muskoka, something like that, or up towards Parry Sound. Gonna have some longer rides coming up. Thanks for coming along on this one. Hope you enjoyed some of the video. It was pretty out here today. Very weedy, lots of weeds and lily pads and stuff like that in the water, as you can see right there, but we managed to get through it okay. So gonna head back, load up, go out on that muddy road again, and head back towards home. thanks for coming along, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Do appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the video, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye for now.